JFD, just fair and direct.
Okay, hello and good morning everyone. Welcome to JFD Traders Espresso with me, Darius Anucauskas. Today's the 25th of October 2022. So yep, welcome everyone. Welcome to this Tuesday's morning session where we're going to have a very quick look at the markets, a view of the charts, the usual stuff. But before we do that, as always, let's quickly have a read through our risk disclaimer. So yep. The content we produce does not constitute investment advice or investment recommendation, should not be considered as such, and does not in any way constitute an invitation to acquire any financial instrument or product. As always, I'll give you a few seconds to read the rest and we can continue. Okay, so now then, also just before we jump into the charts, as always, a quick mentioning of our JFD YouTube channel, to which you can always subscribe to in order not to miss any of our upcoming videos, and of course our jfdbrokers.com website, which you can always check out for more information about us. So guys, now then, jumping into the charts. Okay guys, basically Nikkei 225, okay, we had an opening a little bit lower and then it pushed higher, but once again, from the technical perspective, the 100-day EMA provided that resistance, or should I say, the area near that 100-day EMA provided resistance. So once again, we're still waiting for the same breakout here, because as I said before, for me, in order to go upside, I would like to see a nice good push above the 27,400 level. But even then, I have a problem here with this downside line taken from the high of the 17th of August. So that's why at the moment, I would say, yeah, let's be careful, as in a way it could be forming here a possible ascending triangle pattern. So if it is doing that, then great. It could be, could be breaking out to the upside according to all the TA rules. However, we cannot rush into anything. We need to wait for that breakout, because in a way it could still end up breaking this upside line and then moving lower. So yeah, look, if at the moment we look at it as potential ascending triangle from the short-term perspective, okay, which could break out to the upside. But if it breaks this upside line, then the next thing that we're monitoring here is the range, because maybe it's in the range. So who knows? So again, it's a difficult one. So you always have to kind of consider these. You always have to consider these kind of moments. For example, if you're looking at a pattern and let's say you're very confident in it and you're thinking, hey, that's for sure. Sometimes it doesn't happen. So, and as you know, you've been probably trading for a while now. So you always need to have a backup plan, and I think that you always have to have a backup to the backup plan. So it's always the case like that. So anyway, so yeah, that's the situation with Nikkei, guys. I mean, again, waiting. Shanghai Composite. Now this one's beautiful because we drifted lower. Yes, we're kind of flat for the day today. But what's interesting here, after we broke this downside line, if you remember, I talked about this because on Shanghai Composite we had that that kind of channel here to the downside. And look, I mean, I have been talking about this pattern for quite a while. So I said that, look, whenever you have like a huge decline like this initially, and then it kind of has a gradual decline, you're always going to have a breakout to the upside. So we got that breakout, and well, actually, this is where the tricky bit is. We kind of got a breakout to the downside, but it was kind of a maybe like more of a false breakout or something like that, because I think on a weekly candle it looks a little bit better. Yeah, exactly. So okay. So it was a bit of a tease here. Reversed back to the upside and broke out to the upside and moved higher. Found resistance not near the 21-day EMA, but more of a near the 3,100 level. So that's why I'm going to keep an eye on that level. And that's the level for me for the upside. However, I want to see how this is going to play out, because look, previously I talked about that this level here, the 2,987. I said that if we fall below it, I'll aim lower, but initially I'll aim for that 2,957, and maybe if that gets clear, then yes, further declines are possible. At the moment, we got that drop, we got that test here, and I think that We got the test of this 2,957. We violated it, and I think it's time to kind of move away from it a little bit because, look, I mean, I think it might be somewhere around here, a good potential target. So because look, I mean, in the beginning of October, or should I say mid-October, we found good support around here near this 2,936, 37, something like that. So, and this time as well, we drifted lower and kind of came very close to testing this area as well. So look, now I think it's the safer option here is to just kind of wait for a drop below this hurdle, below this area right here. If we do get a drop below this 2,936 territory, I'll go lower because this will confirm a forthcoming lower low. But at the moment, the fact that we are bouncing from this downside line that I've drawn here before, and now it's acting as a good little trampoline. Now that's of course giving a bit of hope here for the bulls. However, look, I said before that my ideal scenario for the upside is from around here, but the thing is that we moved already a little bit lower, so maybe we could keep an eye on this little hurdle, this 3,013-14 area. Or even, let me just see if this is, or even this could play out, the 3,027, because I wonder how this would play out here. Actually, why am I using this? If I can recycle, always recycle, guys. There we go. So something around here. So let's see if this is going to work out, because at the same time, for example, if we do pop above this 3,027 territory, we could see a move to the upside. And again, depending on where this 21-day EMA is going to be, maybe it's going to coincide with this downside line, and you know, all this could add up nicely. With this, you know, with this move here to the upside. Anyway, Hong Kong's Hang Seng Index. Okay, so I think I need to do one thing here. Remove all the drawings, because I think that it needs to have a fresh look. In general, before even drawing a downside line, which you probably can see yourselves here, basically the fact that we have moved quite a lot. Look, Hong Kong's Hang Seng is the kind of one of the biggest losers this year, I would say, and we are continuing to drift lower. Look, the peak was here. Let me just grab one of these. Price range. So the peak was here back in January, and we've tested we've tested this, and look how much we've dropped. We dropped from that peak in January this year. If we just take it from there, we dropped already around 50%. I mean, that is quite significant. So we dropped around 50% in Hong Kong's Hang Seng. I mean, and if the other ones are kind of still hanging in there, this one is just on a huge decline. Of course, some of you might say, hey, this presents you know, itself with a nice opportunity for a potential long. Could be the case, of course. That's, I'm not doubting that, but we need to find a good floor here. And to be honest, at this point, looking at this, guys, I mean, I would like to see at least a good strong move above the 21-day EMA. Of course, what you can do here, if your trading style is, let's say, to, you know, try to pick up the bottom here, you know, to trade counter trends, yeah, you can do that. The only thing is that you have to accept the fact that it might continue going against you, and that means that either you have to have a bigger stop loss, you know, a bigger balance, or again, liquidate as quick as possible. Basically, close your position as soon as possible if you see that it's not going well. So because look, the trend is still to the downside, and I get it. It's like very attractive here. We have moved a lot from this 200-day EMA, so maybe, you know, a good nice move back up here could be possible. But again, we might not be done with the downside yet. And looking at the monthly chart here, look, last time, I would say this way, last time we had a steep decline like that was back here in 2007. Look at this, guys. I mean, this is like about 60%, 66 roughly. If we apply the same logic here, I mean, I'm not taking from here because we had this decline here. I mean, then we recovered quite significantly, I would say. So that's why I'm going to take it from around here. So we're currently, like I said, around 52, something like that, 52%, something like that. We have declined from the peak. You know, if we're gonna aim for the same 60 or whatever, 66, 65%, or even, let's say, even 60, then we're looking at something like 12,000 and a half, you know, as a target, as a potential target. Again, another thing here, if we apply the same logic as a 66% here, then, well, we could be getting closer to the same levels here, like with the 2008 lows, the prime crisis lows. So yeah, and let me just drag this one very quickly. So yeah, that's roughly around that 66%. Boom. Again, you can apply the same logic. You might not, but I would say be careful. Be very cautious on this one. At the moment, yeah, it's a one-way traffic here. You know, so again, I'm not seeing like a possible reversal yet, unless I get some sort of a clear indication that, hey, we're ready to do that. So let's go in, you know. So I think I need to get rid of this on the monthly chart. It's way too extended here. So yeah. So jumping back into ASX 200. Actually, while I am on the monthly chart, look at this. Look at how well this played out. I mean, I talked about this in the beginning of the month, last month as well. Look, I mean, this is what was my target, this highlighted zone here, and look how well we've rebounded from that area this month. We've rebounded, and we're now pushing back to that 21-day EMA on the monthly chart. So, what can we expect next? Now, if you're looking for some lower levels on this one, I would say wait for a drop below that 6,573 territory right here. It's quite an important one. A nice good drop below this may lead the index towards the 100-day EMA here on the monthly chart I'm talking about, and that area, not the level, but that area is somewhere in here. Let me just put all these lines here. I think it's going to be much easier this way. So it's roughly somewhere near that 6,150, 200 zone, so something approximately around there. That could be a good target if we break below the 6,392 zone right there. Now, jumping into a daily chart on this one, so overall we're still in the range. So as I mentioned before, I'm still watching that. I've talked about this already, so you know, the same analysis remains valid. The German index, beautiful move. So there we go. Look, I talked about this yesterday. I said that we were already above the upper side of the falling channel, and okay, that's great. If we somehow, you know, drift back down here, we might, you know, rebound from this upper side of the falling channel. We broke it to the upside. We ended up staying above it, and I said that my next target will be this 12,936 territory, which we managed to reach perfectly. And not only that, we managed to reach the psychological 13,000 mark as well. So yeah, good. Very good. Now the next question is, can we go further north? Well, to be honest, the cash index is currently sitting above that hurdle, above this area, and which means that I am going to remain cautiously bullish. The reason why I'm cautiously bullish is because we have the 100-day EMA here as well, which is on the way, and we have this downside line taken from the high of the 5th of January of this year, so which could provide a bit of resistance. So at the moment, I'm only aiming for that as long as we stay above the 12,936 territory. Nasdaq 100, very quickly on that one. So this one's also moving nicely to the upside. We pushed above that 12,296 territory, or should I say 300 level. We've pushed above that, so yeah, we stayed above it as well. So my next target is the 11,710 zone. We are currently on the cash index, we're currently slightly above yesterday's close, so we're currently in earnings season, so keep on watching that, keep on watching all the indices. Then yeah, the moment, like I said, the moment it's quite interesting to see what's going to happen here with the with this area, with this barrier, this 11,000. Let's round it up, 300 zone. If we continue to trade above it, if yes, then great. My next target is the 11,710 territory. Dow Jones Industrial Average. So, beautiful close yesterday. We've cleared some levels here, and yeah, great. I would say mission accomplished because I was kind of aiming for this 31,276, 77 territory or this 108 EMA, which we managed to reach perfectly. Great. Next step, what's next? So we're currently, the cash index is currently sitting at around 31,530 zone, slightly above yesterday's close. But what's important is that we remain above the 108 EMA. So if you're looking for some higher levels, then yes, I would say as long as we stay above the 108 EMA, my next target is the 208 EMA right here, the 32,290 zone. If we stay above the 108 EMA, then yes, I will go higher. I will aim for that 208 EMA. So pretty straightforward. If we start falling back below the 108 EMA, I'll take a bit of a neutral stand because for me to start maybe examining the downside again, I would like to see something a little bit more radical here, like a drop below this upside line, and maybe also like a drop below this 30,838 level right here. If we do drop below and fall below this, I'll go to the downside. DXY dollar index. So okay. Still holding on, but something seems to be like boiling here, and I'm very curious to see how this is going to play out. We do get some data today from the US. We get the CB consumer confidence number and also the house price index. So those numbers are coming out. That's going to be quite interesting to see what's going to happen there. But at the moment, yeah, I'm watching this, and to be honest, I'm kind of personally, I would like to see this falling off the cliff. However, I cannot really, state that yet because we don't have like a clear indication of that. But probably, yeah, it's more of a personal thing that's kicking in here. I mean, I'm not short or anything. I just really like to see this one moving a little bit to the downside towards this upside line, and then rebounding and moving it to the higher again. Or even better, maybe finding support somewhere near this level. That's why I have this 110 as my target, the 110.05. That's my area of support, potential area of support from which we could rebound, because again, this is me trying to see something where maybe it's not, but maybe this is a descending triangle again. And this could eventually lead maybe to something bigger, like for example, we could see a drift lower here, test this area, rebound, go higher, move a little bit around here, and then according to all the TA rules, as the descending triangle tends to break to the downside, maybe then we could see like a huge drop here to the downside. But again, let's wait and see. I mean, I'm trying to really get ahead of myself here, trying to really predict the future. But everything can happen. So let's keep it short and simple. At the moment, like I said, I'm watching this area, I'm watching this upside line, and to be honest, I can see that one thing that really supports my downside scenario is the fact that we remain below this 21-day EMA. If we continue to trade below it, then yes, I will go. I will go lower. Sorry for the little technical issue in there, but yeah. So far that's kind of the game plan. Gold, very quickly on that one. I think I need to rush through my instruments a little bit because I kind of running out of time. Gold, still watching this one, and to be honest, I'm leaning a little bit more towards the upside to this because look, whenever we have a pattern like this. Whenever there's like a huge candle first to the upside, then we have a nice correction to the downside. The third candle tends to be to the upside. Again, I would probably say this pattern works out maybe like 60-70% of the time, but look, we still have the other element of the Dow, so we still have a chance for this not to work out. So at the moment, as I mentioned before, it comes in line with my idea mentioned before, where I said that if we remain above this area, above the 1645 level, then yes, I will aim for the upside. Yeah, at the moment, that's what I'm doing. As long as we stay above the 1645, I'm aiming for the upside towards this downside line. WTI oil, still watching this one, still stuck here in this range. So, well, to be honest, it's better for us, because the more it sticks in this range, the bigger the breakout can be. So at the moment, I'm waiting for that breakout. For the upside, I need to see a push above the 85.58 level. For the downside, a drop below the 82.54 zone right here, somewhere around here, and then yeah, we could go to the downside. Nasdaq. Oh, sorry, Nasdaq. Natural gas. Natural gas. Look, I talked about this previously. I spoke about this area right here, the 6,300. I said if we break below this, my next target is the 5.73 or 5.32 level. Well, we managed to reach both of those, and yeah, we managed to surpass that. Now, okay, all you Gartley fans out there. Oh, by the way, look at the how well this this head and shoulders pattern worked out here as well. Perfect. This, we can get rid of it actually. And like I said, all you Gartley fans, or like butterfly or bat formation or something like that. Probably everybody's watching this right now and. Thinking, oh yes, this is exactly that, this is exactly this. Look, I mean, I'm not a huge fan of that, but if for you out there, if you see value in this, great. I support any method that can make you money, guys. If you support the, look, I mean, this, if you want to use this, again, I'm not sure if this is the bottom here. Maybe it's going to go a little bit lower. Who knows? I mean, that's why it's never kind of sure with these patterns. They're in a way good, yes, but look, this might not be the bottom, so it might go maybe somewhere here or something like that here. You know, that's why it's a little bit on the difficult side. So you're always still guessing here. Either way, guys, I mean, you might end up being just sticking to some levels, important levels, and just having your stop loss in place adjusted. Stop loss adjusted. So at the moment, yeah, okay, great. We could be drawing this, something like this, but I would say I would remove this. At the moment, it's in my way, but I would rather stick for the upside. I would prefer for the short term upside. I would prefer to see a push above the 5.325 here, which is the lowest point of July. If we clear this, then yes, I will go towards that 21-day EMA initially, because let's not forget that we might be having something like this around here, where we have a downside line taken from the high of the 14th of September, which also could provide a bit of resistance. Crypto, Ethereum, ETH USD. I talked about this before. I said, look, maybe we're in a falling channel here, and on the other hand, from the shorter term perspective, we are stuck in a range. So either way, even if it's a channel, we need to see a clear breakout through the upper side of it. If it's a range, here for the downside, we need to see a drop below the lower side of the range in order to go to the lower side of the falling channel. So pretty straightforward on this one. I'm just observing the price action. Now let's jump into a few pairs very quickly. AUD JPY. Haven't looked at this one for quite a while, and I think that yes, this upside line got violated, but we didn't really move to the downside much because we continue to trade above this 93.55 level. So in other words, I'm looking at something like this. I think, yep. Look, this is not ideal. Okay, for both of the levels here, I would say not ideal. I'm just kind of keeping this, let's say the 93.55. I like the level because in a way, yes, we had those false breakouts, but still kind of it remained above it, and also it coincides nicely with the 100-day EMA. So if the body of the daily candle stays below this eventually, then yes, I will go towards this target right here, towards that 200-day EMA. For the upside, I would like to see a push a push above the 94.77 territory right here. If we stay above it, I'll go higher. AUD and ZD. So, okay, great. One of my favorite pairs, actually. And so far, it's doing a nice job here. After we saw a little rebound here, we're moving back up. This idea that I've talked about, where maybe a bit of a larger correction here to the upside could be possible, it's kind of working half of the way. And I'm still considering maybe to see something of a move here towards this 1.1127 zone near the 100-day EMA. But okay, let's see. Like I said, I would like to see something like this, like a push higher, a hold up here, and then another decline towards that 200-day EMA. So let's see if that happens or not. For the upside, I need to see a clear, straightforward break here of this downside line. USD/JPY, now this one is very, very interesting. So after Friday's huge decline, that was like amazing. That was beautiful after we managed to reach an area near the 152 territory. Well, just missed it by just 5 pips basically, and declined, moved lower. A lot of probably short sellers were here. A lot of sellers were near that 152 territory, and that's why I didn't go all the way towards that 152 territory. Yep, it only went to 151.95 and declined. I mean, talk about a disappointment to some of the traders here who had their sell limits set up on 152. Well, anyway, that's the part of the market. I mean, that's why you kind of you tend to put your limits just maybe a little bit below the, let's say, the beautiful number or something like that. I get it if it surpasses, but you have to be prepared for that. It's part of the game. Now, what's next? I would say, look, I'm watching at that 150 zone. What I would like to see here, from the personal perspective, I would like to see a push higher, maybe a test of that 150 zone, maybe, or the 150.28, a good hold up there, and then a nice drop to the downside. That would be spectacular, that would be beautiful, and that would really attract more sellers into the game. And also, like I said, keep your eyes on DXY. We're also at that interesting spot. So yeah, let's see if we can squeeze something out of this one, guys. I mean, if you're not comfortable with that scenario, just wait for a break of this upside line, and then we can start aiming to the downside. USD CAD. This one's a mess. Look, previously I talked about this area, the 1.37 territory. I said that if we drop below this and stay below it, I'll go lower. And to be honest, initially it was working, but then it stopped because we drifted below the 21-day EMA, and we kind of then rebounded from somewhere around here. Yeah, I think we've rebounded from this little area right here. Okay, that's very interesting. So 1.3603. Oh, actually, yes, that's fine. Basically, this pair. This is my second least favorite pair, but it sometimes does like these beautiful round numbers, or areas near those beautiful numbers. So yeah, like after we broke the 1.37 territory, I said that my next target is this 1.35 zone, but actually it went all the way to 1.36 and rebounded from there. So if you're looking for some lower levels, I would say I'm going to go slowly on this. This time I'm going to go slowly. The 1.36 territory, a break below this could open the door towards a 1.35. That's going to be my next target for this pair. For the upside, I would like to see a push above the 1.3855 territory right there. US dollar against the South African rand. Look, finally, boom, we got that breakout and we stayed above it. That's more important. Yesterday we pushed above this barrier, this 18.3660, and we stayed above it, and now we are looking for some higher levels, guys. To be honest, as long as we stay above this area, I will continue aiming to the upside. If we start falling back below it, that's where it could concern me, and maybe then we could start looking at some downside in the near term. GBP USD still in the range. Same analysis is valid as yesterday. I've talked about this already. I've already mentioned this, so watching these two levels. GBP CHF, also something that I mentioned yesterday, kind of forming like a bullish flag here or something like that, but the problem here is that we're breaking this upside line, so I need to get rid of it. it's in the way. So what I'm looking at here right now is, yeah, just a little range where we are currently stuck in. I need to see a clear breakout here. If we get a clear breakout through the 1.1410, yes, I'll go higher. For the downside, I would like to see a drop below the 1.1209 in order to go to the downside, because at the same time we would drop below the 21-day EMA. EuroCAD, very quickly on this one. EuroCAD, look, the same story. Again, I'm just picking up on these because, like, they're quite interesting. Yesterday we had a test of the upper side of the range, but there you go. You see, we had another flirt here, and it flirted with this 200-day EMA and then drifted back down. So we need that clear breakout in order to go higher. At the moment, I'm just observing this and I'm not touching it because this is way too tricky. Euro JPY, this one's quite interesting. Look, yesterday we had a huge decline. We found support near this upside line, strong rebound and a push back to the upside. Now, what's next? So basically, I would say I need to see a good, how to put it better, let me just adjust this arrow very quickly. There we go. So basically, look, with this one, I will be a little bit more on the conservative side. So for the downside, I would like to see a break of this upside line and then a move lower. We have this hurdle here as well. Don't get me wrong, this is quite important, but I'll pick the 144 zone, but I'll pick up on that one if we do break this upside line. If we continue to trade here, what I'm watching is right now is something around here. Look, this is 147.30. Maybe not as ideal. Maybe I should put it somewhere around here, 147.40. I think that's a little bit better. And if we clear that, then I'll go higher. I will go to the current highest point of October near the 148.40. That's only around 100 points away from here, 100 pips away from this breakout. And then we'll go from there. If we clear this, then yes, I'll go further north. If we don't, well, we will stay positive here. And like I said, if we push above this 147.40, then yes, I'll go higher. And finally, guys, EURUSD. The same analysis is valid. I'm not touching this anymore. I mean, at the moment, I'm just waiting. I'm playing the waiting game. I'm waiting for this to break out somewhere through one of these trend lines, and then I'm going to do something about it. At the moment, I'm just observing the price action. So, guys, that's it for this session. I'll have to wrap it up here. Thank you very much for watching and listening. I really appreciate your time, guys, your views, your likes, your comments, everything. I really appreciate that. So, yeah, if you want to catch me tomorrow morning, as always, at Traders Espresso, 6 o'clock GMT time. For now, have a wonderful trading day. Stay safe. Have your stop losses in place, and everything will be fine. Thank you very much, and bye-bye.